My mother, Naomi Phillips, told me I was born with a body that could captivate any man. She warned me never to get involved with men before turning 20. In my last life, I obeyed her words. So when Sebastian Howard, heir to one of Washington's most powerful families, was drugged and stumbled into my arms, I shoved him away without hesitation. But everything changed after my 20th birthday. Somehow, every bit of effort I put into caring for myself flowed into Naomi instead. When I applied a face mask, the blemishes didn't fade from me. They appeared. Wrinkles deepened, dark spots spread across my skin, while Naomi's face grew smoother, fresher, almost glowing. When I exercised, my body grew heavier, softer, while hers slimmed into the graceful figure of a young girl. My father, Samuel Phillips, only saw ugliness. When he looked at me, worn down like a woman twice my age, his face twisted with disgust. He spat curses and threatened to sell me off to some old man who had already been divorced twice. I fell to my knees, sobbing, begging Naomi to protect me. But she only looked back at me with her 20-year-old face and said, "Everything we do is for your own good."
So I ran.
I escaped into the streets, but the farther I went, the faster the years clawed at me. My hair grayed, my skin sagged, my heart gave out. 3 days later, I died in a garbage heap, abandoned and forgotten. And yet, when I opened my eyes, I was back at the moment I first met Sebastian. This time, I didn't push him away. I pinned him beneath me instead. Naomi hadn't been lying. Sebastian was consumed by desire, unable to resist me. He claimed me again and again, then pressed a silver cufflink into my hand. "Baby, you're a rarity in this world. Bring this to me whenever you want, and I'll give you everything you dream of." But I barely cared about his words. All I could think about was the curse. I had broken Naomi's rule, given myself to a man before 20. Would that change my fate? The moment I returned home, I rushed to test it. I smoothed cream onto my skin, praying. But the answer came quickly. The same spots, the same dullness, appeared on my face while Naomi's youth only bloomed brighter. I refused to accept it. Desperation surged through me. I took the lotion in my hand and rubbed it onto Naomi's cheek, hoping, just once, the effect would reverse. But her skin only grew more radiant, while mine worsened. She shrieked, shoved me aside, and scolded. "What did you smear on me? My face isn't for you to ruin." She hurried to the mirror, only to smile at her own reflection. Meanwhile, Sebastian had posted on his account, an account with over 10 million followers.
He was searching for me.
His post read, "Looking for someone. These were left at my place last night." Attached were pictures of my bracelet, my name tag, and even a blurred shot of me from the bar's surveillance camera. My father came running, phone in hand, nearly shaking with excitement. "Amelia, this is you, isn't it? I've seen you wear this bracelet." "Amelia Phillips, that's me." His eyes gleamed brighter than if he had won the lottery. Did you spend the night with Mr. Howard?" "What?" Naomi's face turned cold. In a flash, she dragged me by the hair and slapped me hard across the face. Her voice rose in a furious scream. "Didn't I tell you not to touch a man before 20? You shameless girl. You couldn't wait even one day? I'll kill you." But for the first time, Samuel didn't take her side. He grabbed her arm and barked, "Stop. Don't hit her face. Do you even know who Sebastian is? She could be worth a fortune." Their words, their greedy expressions, all made me think of my past life. I had followed Naomi's warnings, but the curse had still taken everything from me. After 20, my beauty withered while hers flourished. My father had tried to sell me off like livestock, and Naomi had stood by, smiling. She had only said one thing: his family is offering $50,000 in wedding gifts. Marrying him will be your good fortune. Everything we do is for your own good. I was shattered. That very night, I bought a train ticket and fled, desperate to escape the house that had become a cage. But I did not expect the world to punish me for leaving. The farther I went, the faster the years took hold. By the time I reached a different city, my hair had gone completely white, my back bowed with age, and every step sent hot pains through my joints. I could not find steady work, no one offer help, and at last my heart gave out in a heap of filth and discarded things. I died alone, under a sky I barely knew. Now, given a second life, I swore I would not repeat that fate. I would not let the same tragedy take me again. Sebastian's post exploded across the web. "Mr. Howard is searching the whole internet for a girl with a bracelet. This reads like Cinderella." If Amelia works at a bar, she probably needs help. Mr. Howard should give her a hand. She has a name on the tag. Someone find her now. Hashtags like Find Cinderella trended. Someone dug up an old school photo of me. The one with the sun in my hair and a mischievous smile. Wow, she was beautiful. No wonder he can't forget her. I knew her. Same class as me. Her family lives on Fermiana Road. We found her. Tell Mr. Howard now. I stared at the bright girl in that picture, then at my reflection, a face eaten by years, and felt terror roll through me. Carefully, I approached Naomi and asked, Mom, why do you get younger while I age? What do you use? Can you teach me? She was calmly smoothing cream on her face, already radiant. She glanced up with impatience. Didn't I tell you not to get involved with men? Sleeping with someone makes you age. You didn't listen, so this is your fault. You deserve it, she said bluntly. She lied. In my last life, I obeyed her, yet the same stealing of youth happened anyway. I watched the places where she dabbed cream, watched her skin tighten and glow. Then I looked at the mirror, and that new, angry spot on my cheek had grown. I could not stand it. I punched the glass. The mirror shattered, a flurry of reflected faces, and Naomi screamed, cursing, You idiot! Are you out of your mind? I threw the rest of the skincare jars into the trash. If all that maintenance fed her youth, why should I keep doing it? So I stopped caring. I sabotaged myself on purpose. I bought cheap, harsh cosmetics and smeared them on thick. My skin flared in an allergic bloom, raw and angry. I quit dancing, and I ate until my body swelled and sagged. I watched for any change in Naomi, but she only grew more beautiful, as if my efforts had no effect on her at all. If she told anyone she was 18, they would have believed her. When Samuel came home and saw me, he exploded in fury. How did you make yourself look like this? He whipped me with his belt until my ribs ached. You jinx, Mr. Howard is closing in. You better lose that weight. Who would want you looking like a ghost? If he rejects you, you'll ruin Nolan's chance. If you block Nolan's path, I'll beat you to death, he snarled. Naomi simply applied a face mask without hurry, her voice cold. With your ways, you probably caught something. That's why you look like a specter. Go to the hospital and get checked. I swallowed my rage and pain, took what Sebastian had given me, the cufflink, photographed it, and replied to his message online. I locked myself away after that, too afraid to go outside. Then I discovered I had stopped menstruating. I went to the hospital, trembling. The doctor frowned, and after tests she said, You have premature ovarian failure. It's unusual. We should run more tests to find the cause. But I knew, deep down, this wasn't a medical mystery someone could fix with needles and pills. Someone found a photo of Naomi and me selling skewers at a street stall and uploaded it with the caption, Is this the Amelia Mr. Howard is looking for? This is what she looks like now. The comments flooded in. Why does she look so old? Are you sure this is the right Amelia? The younger woman must be Amelia, right? The image spread like a fever. I stared at it, at the contrast between Naomi's fresh, smooth face and my crumbling one. Gray threaded through my hair, spots appeared on the backs of my hands, and I could not stop the scream building in my throat. Like a woman possessed, I stormed into Naomi's room and tore the mask from her face. What are you doing to yourself? I shouted, my voice shaking. Why do you keep getting younger while I grow older? Why do all the treatments I use end up working on you instead? Her expression twisted in fury. She slapped me across the cheek, hissing, You lunatic, have you lost your mind? The noise brought Samuel storming in. The moment his eyes landed on me, he raised his hand and struck me twice. I told you to slim down, he snarled. Look at yourself now. If Mr. Howard refuses you, I'll send you off to that old divorced man back home. Holding my stinging face, I glared at him. You think I haven't tried? Look at me, then look at her. Don't you see something's wrong? Ever since I turned 20, everything I do to maintain myself transfers to her instead. Why don't you ask her how she's doing it, instead of beating me senseless? Samuel's gaze shifted toward Naomi. For years, he'd cursed her, saying the sight of her disgusted him. Yet now, with her glowing skin and slender waist, she looked like a woman in her youth. A flicker of desire flashed in his eyes. Naomi began to sob dramatically. Did you even bother going to the hospital? You must have picked up some filthy disease with your shameless behavior. And now you dare blame me? Samuel nodded along, entranced by her face. He pulled Naomi into his arms as if she were a goddess he had just claimed, while his eyes burned with hatred when they turned back to me. You disgraceful girl, he spat, kicking me to the floor. You're jealous of your own mother. That's all this is. Look at yourself. Do you look like a 20-year-old? You're not even half the woman she is. Their intimacy made bile rise in my throat. I let out a cold laugh. You beat me and curse me, but aren't you afraid that if I marry Rich, I'll cut you both off? His face twisted with shock, as though I'd spoken the greatest betrayal. Naomi, hiding behind her sobs, added fuel. We raised her for years, and she treats us worse than a dog. Samuel, we can't let her stay here anymore. Throw her out. A chill ran through me. In my previous life, the moment I left that house was the moment my body truly collapsed. If Naomi wanted me gone now, that could only mean death was waiting for me again. I locked myself in my room, heart racing. I wasn't leaving yet, not until I understood what was happening. Then, shocking news broke. Sebastian posted online, declaring he had found his destined one and would soon hold a grand wedding. People gushed about the romance, calling it a fairy tale. But I had never even stood before him since that night. One evening, I overheard Naomi's laughter outside my door. Don't worry, she soothed Samuel. I'll take his attention for now. Look at Amelia. Do you think Mr. Howard would want her in this state? Once she gets better, we'll switch back. But on the wedding day, Naomi was the one who stepped into the Bentley, wearing elegance like a crown. The wedding was live-streamed, drawing hundreds of thousands of viewers. When Samuel realized Naomi had vanished, he dragged me to the venue in a panic. Inside, the ceremony was already underway. As Naomi stood on stage with Sebastian, exchanging rings, Samuel lost control. Wait, he shouted, pushing me into the spotlight. Mr. Howard, you're marrying the wrong woman. That's my wife. Your real bride is my daughter. The cameras caught my face. The comments lit up instantly. Who is this old hag? My God, is she trying to steal her daughter's place? No way Mr. Howard would fall for that. Get her out of here. Sebastian's expression darkened as he looked at me. Desperate, I held up the cufflink he'd given me. This, I said, trembling, is what you left with me. You told me to use it to find you. The chat exploded. That woman's too old. Maybe she's the mother. If she's the mother, then she's shameless for trying to take her daughter's place. This must be a scam. The bride on stage is perfect. This one is a fraud. Naomi leaned behind Sebastian, her face smug. The murmurs spread among the guests. Sebastian's taste can't be this low. The woman on stage is obviously the one. Sebastian's jaw tightened. I've confirmed it already, he said coldly. She is the one I was looking for. Samuel's eyes went bloodshot. He grabbed a knife and lunged at Sebastian, roaring, You dare touch my wife? I'll kill you. Security rushed in, chaos broke out, and in the middle of it my chest clenched in stabbing pain. My breath came short, heart failure again. I glared at Naomi, then noticed the glitter of a diamond bracelet on her wrist. And in that instant something clicked. Just as the realization struck, the live stream chat shifted. Wait, what's happening to her face? On the big screen, everyone saw Naomi's face sprout fresh age spots. She screamed and lunged for the camera, trying to shut it off. I crumpled to the floor, finally letting out a long, shaky breath. For the first time, it wasn't only me. Naomi was aging too. A man in the crowd called out, impatient, Mr. Howard, we all have places to be. When exactly does this wedding start? Maybe skip the speech and get on with it. Another voice jeered, You said the bride was 20. So who is this elderly husband? And who is this woman that just appeared? Sebastian raised his hand, quieting them, then turned on Naomi, voice sharp and controlled. You told me you were unmarried. Who is this man? I stepped forward, seizing the moment. The unmarried young woman you mentioned is me, I said. I am indeed unmarried. These are my parents. Sebastian glanced me over, his face folding with barely concealed contempt. Naomi lunged for him, clutching his arm, panic in her voice. Mr. Howard, don't listen to her. She's lost her mind trying to marry a rich man. She cannot possibly be my daughter. I raised my voice. I can prove it. I stayed with you that night. I moved closer and whispered a private detail into his ear, something only he and I knew. After that night, he had held my hand and told me how valuable I was. Naomi snapped and flailed. Whatever she says is a lie, Mr. Howard. I am the one you want. But Sebastian shoved her back. He eyed me again, scornful, and asked, If you are the real Amelia, why do you look like this? I lifted the bracelet I had worn my whole life and said, I think this might be why. The bracelet had been with me since childhood. Once I asked Naomi why she insisted I wear it. She called it a charm. She said it would protect me, warned me never to remove it or misfortune would follow. Over the years it tightened until it felt fused to my skin. I had learned to ignore the pain and treated it as part of me. When the premature signs of age first appeared, I suspected Naomi had done something to me, so I searched the house for a secret, finding nothing. I never imagined the source might be on my own wrist. Seeing Naomi's diamond bracelet had jolted my memory. With nothing left to lose, I slipped my fingers under the band and pulled. The skin under it tore and bled, but the moment it came off the chest, pain eased, my breath evened. Everything that had been tearing at me stopped. I knew then the bracelet was the key. Strange as it was, my face did not immediately heal. I still looked older, but the physical torment ended. Naomi's smile froze when she realized I had removed it. She scrambled to cling to Sebastian. Don't listen to her. She's trying to trick you with that thing. But when fresh spots bloomed across Naomi's cheeks, Sebastian shoved her aside, disgust clear in his voice. Do you think I'm stupid? Something felt wrong the night you came to me. You do resemble Emilia, so I tolerated it at first, but now I see the truth. He took the bracelet from my hand, turning it over with a cold curiosity, then said, flatly, I'll hold this and check whether what you claim is true. He bowed to the guests. I'm sorry, everyone. The wedding must be postponed. I will investigate and report back. The crowd grumbled and dispersed. Samuel, furious, grabbed Sebastian by the sleeve, shouting, You slept with my wife and now you back out? How will we settle this? Sebastian's patience snapped. Get this woman and leave, he said, voice low. Samuel threatened to ruin him online unless paid tens of millions, but Sebastian revealed a harsher side. He signaled his guards, and they beat Samuel until he curled up screaming, clutching his head. I watched, cold and impassive, remembering how he had struck me all those years, feeling a bitter satisfaction. Then Sebastian approached Samuel with a golf club in hand, the guards parting. He looked at my father as if assessing a corpse, then swung. The club struck Samuel's leg with a sickening crack, and his scream echoed through the hall. His leg lay broken beneath him. He would never kick me again. When the three of us returned home, the mask of affection between Samuel and Naomi shattered completely. Samuel lay crippled in bed, spitting curses, blaming Naomi for his ruined leg. Naomi lashed back, calling him useless, insisting that if he hadn't dragged me to Sebastian's wedding, she would already be mistress of the Howard estate. Their endless squabbling had become background noise to me. I closed my door and focused on my skincare routine. Strangely, every time I finished applying a mask or cream, Naomi's skin worsened. Dark patches spread across her cheeks, wrinkles deepened, and her once supple face withered before the mirror. Mine, however, stayed the same, aged but steady. Whenever she caught me applying skincare, Naomi would shriek and snatch the products from my hands, screaming, Who gave you permission, you ungrateful brat? She would then crumble into sobs, clawing at her reflection as if she could wipe the years away. But that was only the beginning. I picked up my old hobby again, dance. My body had slimmed, no longer bloated, though not yet restored. Naomi's waist thickened, her belly marked again with stretch lines. In desperation, she begged me to stop. I met her gaze coolly and smiled. And why should I? Her lips trembled with rage. Because I am your mother and you are my daughter. I laughed, cold and sharp. A real mother doesn't plot against her child for decades. You forfeited that title the day you betrayed me. Don't expect me to play the obedient daughter now. Grinding her teeth, Naomi tried another tactic. Don't you want to know why you haven't regained your youth? Don't you want to know who gave me that bracelet? Do as I say, and I'll tell you. I waved her off. No need. Someone else will uncover the truth for me. She sneered. You're still counting on Sebastian? Look at yourself. Do you really think he'll help you now? I tilted my head and smiled. Didn't you once tell me that men can't resist me? Just then Nolan, my younger brother, came charging in. He shoved me and shouted, Don't bully my mom, you witch. My hand moved before I thought. I slapped him across the face. Nolan burst into tears. Naomi screamed, clutching him to her chest. Emilia, have you gone mad? How dare you hit Nolan? Even in his crippled state, Samuel sided with her. You bitch. Just because I can't move, you think you can lay a hand on my son? When I'm healed, I'll beat you to death. I smiled brightly, pulling out a folded document and tossing it onto his lap. Then open your eyes and see if he's truly your son. Samuel froze as he scanned the paternity test. His face darkened. Naomi, Nolan isn't mine. Naomi faltered but quickly snapped. So what? Didn't you always want a son? Does it matter whose he is? He carries your name, doesn't he? You're too old, too weak, too infertile to give me a child anyway. Rage twisted Samuel's face, but helpless in bed, he hurled the report at her. Take your bastard and get out of my house. Naomi sneered, rolling her eyes. You're nothing but a cripple. Why would I want to stay? Gathering Nolan, she stormed out, slamming the door behind her. Samuel collapsed back, voice breaking. Amelia, I only have you left now. I ignored him. My phone buzzed. Sebastian had sent a car. He claimed he had found the key to my curse. We drove to a small town I had never visited before. There, a fortune teller awaited us. He took the bracelet, examined it, and sighed. This belonged to my late master, he said gravely. He delighted in forbidden curses. Many years ago, a woman brought her infant daughter to him. She said her husband despised the child and demanded to know if the girl would bring fortune or ruin. My master gave her this cursed bracelet. He explained that the girl carried a rare energy that made men obsessed with her. If the bracelet stayed on her until she turned 20, that energy would transfer to the woman, provided the girl remained untouched. From that day forward, the woman would enjoy youth and beauty forever. He looked at me knowingly. That child was you. I listened in silence. The fortune teller went on. I opposed my master then, and I have waited for this day, knowing you would come. Now he is gone, and only I can undo his curse. He placed a talisman-covered paper on the bracelet, dropped it into a bronze basin, and lit it. The flames roared, the bracelet burned, and within minutes it crumbled to ash. As the cursed metal dissolved, I felt my body lighten. My skin smoothed, my reflection shifted, youth returning in waves until the face I once knew stared back at me. Sebastian's expression lit with relief and triumph. He clasped my hand tightly. You are the one I was searching for. Soon after, he held another wedding, this time even grander than the first. When the live stream aired, the comments exploded. This must be the real Amelia. I knew something was wrong with that other woman. Comments flooded the stream, incredulous and cruel. Did you see her age on camera? That was terrifying, and I heard that woman was Amelia's real mother. Then Naomi stumbled back into the hall, thin and drawn, her skin a map of suffering, looking decades older than before. She staggered to the front, eyes wild with envy and rage, and shouted, You cannot marry him. Mr. Howard, you should be marrying me. I am carrying your child. The chat went nuts, one voice after another accusing and jeering. Is that even the same woman? How did she fall apart like that? If he marries her, I'll think he's lost his mind. Get a paternity test. She's been unfaithful before. That baby may not be his. Sebastian's patience snapped. He looked at Naomi with contempt and said, You? Bury my child? Take her away and never let her appear before me again. That was the last I saw of Naomi. Rumors wove themselves through the internet, some saying Sebastian had her quietly removed, others claiming she was sold far away. Nolan vanished as well, gone into the shadows, and I never saw him again. The interruption barely slowed the ceremony. After the rites concluded, Sebastian silenced the live stream, lifted the microphone, and addressed the crowd in a voice that held no kindness. He called me merchandise. He spoke about quality and desire. He said my body brought pleasure and luck. Then he announced an auction starting at $1 million, the highest bidder to test drive me first. I backed away, stunned. Mr. Howard, this was a wedding, what do you mean? I asked, voice shaking. He sneered. A wedding? Did you think you were a princess? You are not marrying me. You are an item. This is a show for buyers. His laughter was guttural and cruel, the polished mask of the gentleman gone. Faces in the crowd turned predatory. Men shouted obscene bids, a dirty spectacle that made my skin crawl. One fat, vulgar man called out 1 million. Another raised it to 2 million. The room fell into a fever, until a pot-bellied, bald man named Theo Davis roared 10 million. Sebastian hammered his gavel, sold. Theo beamed, leering as he stepped forward, hands already reaching, his words syrupy and threatening. Come here, baby. I'll take good care of you. I stood rooted to the spot, terror and humiliation flooding me, while the hall that had promised fairy tales turned itself into a marketplace. Like a frightened deer, I darted behind Sebastian's back. From the crowd's angle, they couldn't see my face, but a secret smile had already bloomed on my lips. Leaning close, I whispered softly, "Mr. Howard, you should check the internet right now." His expression darkened instantly. He pulled out his phone with trembling hands, only to find the truth. The entire auction had been live-streamed. Hundreds of thousands of viewers were watching in real time, their outrage flooding the comments. The so-called gentleman Sebastian Howard is actually running a trafficking ring for the wealthy. So, the grand wedding was nothing but a scam? We really wasted our feelings. There are no Cinderella stories in this world. That poor girl was just prey for slaughter. Honestly, I always thought it was suspicious. A rich man rushing into marriage with a woman from nowhere. After one night? It never added up. Within minutes, Sebastian Howard exposed for sex trafficking dominated the trending charts. Panic broke out among the guests. Those powerful men who had come to bid scrambled toward the exits, only to find police already surrounding the venue. There was no escape. I turned to Sebastian, smiling brightly. "Congratulations, Mr. Howard. You should prepare yourself for prison." Even in my previous life, I had known Sebastian was rotten. When I approached him, I had never truly wished to be his Cinderella. I had wanted him and my so-called family to destroy each other. He thought he was the hunter and I the merchandise, but in truth, he had always been the prey. After that night, I never stepped into that cursed house again. Samuel tried to manipulate the internet, painting me as an unfilial daughter who abandoned her paralyzed father. He expected sympathy, hoping to force me back. But instead, the tide turned against him. When she was useful, she was your daughter. When she wasn't, you called her a slut. If your own child wants nothing to do with you, maybe you should ask yourself why. Samuel was torn apart by public opinion, while I cut off every way for him to reach me. By then, I had secured a full scholarship. When the holidays ended, I would walk back onto campus. Ahead of me stretched a brand new life, one that belonged only to me.